Welcome everyone. This is Hamid Taheri. I want to address the statement of the Prime Minister of United States of Israel calling on US officials to stop the demonstrations and pro-Palestinian protests in US universities. Take a look.
What's happening on America's college campuses is horrific. Anti-Semitic mobs have taken over leading universities. They call for the annihilation of Israel. They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty. This is reminiscent of what happened in German universities.
It's unbelievable. Just let me play it again. This is unbelievable.
What's happening on America's college campuses is horrific.
Imagine
Anti-Semitic mobs.
Prime Minister of Israel in Israel is talking as if he's the President of the United States. And look how he's talking, and he's looking down at universities in US and is calling, see what he's saying.
They've taken over leading universities.
Anti-Semitism talks, like the old story.
Israel. They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty.
They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty.
This is reminiscent of what happened in German universities in the 1930s.
No, if something reminds us in history, the whole thing happening in Gaza reminds us what's happened in Germany, Nazi Germany, against Jewish people.
It has to be stopped. It has to be condemned, and condemned unequivocally. But that's
the only thing needs to be condemned right now is the crimes and genocide Israel is carrying on in Gaza. They're literally killing civilians, bombing hospitals, schools, mosques, churches. They're attacking Jewish people. Who is attacking Jewish people? Only Zionists. I'm going to show you in later videos.
The response of several university presidents was shameful. Unfortunately,
in response of several universities, American universities in US, they respond to Prime Minister of Israel. It's shameful. As if a boss is talking to his employees. That's crazy. I don't know how Americans are taking that. As a non-American, I got offended. I'm offended. How Americans are taking this. Simulations.
State, local, federal officials, many of them have responded differently, but there has to be more. More has to be done.
There has to be more. More has to be done. Like, what do you expect? Do you want they to bomb universities in US? I guess so. What more? The pig would never be satisfied unless you bomb universities. Yeah, they're doing it in Gaza. We've already seen what they are capable of.
It has to be done not only because they attack Israel. That's bad enough. Not only because they want to kill Jews wherever they are. That's bad enough.
See, so he's accusing American students in American universities for attacking Israel, for killing Jews. He's literally saying that American students in American universities want to kill Jews. I mean, this is another level. This is like, I don't know how to put it.
It's also because they say not only death to Israel, death to the Jews, but death to America. And this tells us that there's an anti-Semitic...
Nobody has ever said death to Jews. They say, actually, this is kind of like in Persian, in Iran, we say death to America. I've said it already a lot of time. I think people needs to be a little bit smart, especially the people who are supporting human beings against the Zionist war crime machine, and need to be aware that and be a little bit wise in using terms, because they know how to play. They know how to play like politically and with the laws and for arresting people. Like in Persian, in Iran, we say death to America. We say Marg bar America with the capital R, which literally means death to the regime of USA. And if it was me, I had advice for my people over there, for my brothers and sisters from another mom, from another country, for all human beings. I would say, I would use the term USA rather than America, because we literally mean that. We mean a regime change. And the people also over there, they are saying that they literally mean the regime change. They mean a change for the Zionist regime in US and in Israel, in the occupied land, in the Palestine, which is right now is occupied and called after a name of one person in history, because we never had a land or a country or a state named Israel. We never had. There is not such a thing in history. There is one guy named Israel, and like the people of Israel or people of Moses, if you go to the history, actually, I don't want to dive into that topic, but let's just remind us that they are actually the Palestinians today. In the Roman Empire time, later on, they stayed there and they converted to Islam. And what's funny, the Arabs, I'm not Arab, I'm Persian, but Arabs are Semite themselves. So I'm backing up them from like, not that I'm Arab, so I'm Semite, like, oh, it's me talking about myself. No, I'm talking about my brothers and sisters, my nephew, my brothers and sisters, like from Semite race. The Arabs are Semite themselves. How they can be anti-Semite? How that can be possible? You know, maybe if they would, they had used it for a long time against Iranians, against Persian, I would understand that, because we say, okay, maybe the Jews are Semite, so we Iranians, they might say, oh, you're not Semite, so you have something against Semite people. They could use it at least. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's crazy. It's as stupid as a dog. But to an Arab, calling him anti-Semitic, that's crazy. And also they calling the Jews themselves too. They calling Jews anti-Semite. I'll show you. I'll open it up later.
That has terrible consequences. We see this exponential rise of anti-Semitism throughout America and throughout Western society.
This is a card they've been playing the victims. This is how they play. They're gonna bomb your hospital. They're gonna occupy your land. They're gonna kick you off the land, kick you out from your own motherland. They're gonna change your land's name after someone. They're gonna bomb your hospital, your churches, your schools. They're gonna kill your children, women, and then they're gonna blame you. And they're gonna name you, they're gonna tag you, they're gonna name you with some labels like anti-Semitism, anti-Semite. It's like, I don't know, after all this time, after all we've witnessed, how they still are insisting on this. This is unbelievable. Like what they assume their audiences, the people are listening to them are like, I don't know, they don't have any mind for themselves. Like, how can you still doing it? It doesn't make sense to me. This pig is a leader of a group in the world, right? A state. He is put in charge to leading a group, or a state, or a people, or I don't know, a nation, as they claim. And he's still playing a burnt card that has already been played for a long time. They were using it against Iranians, against lots of people, against anyone who was against them, anyone who was not agreed to them, he was not bending the knee to them. Oh, you are anti-Semitic. Why? Because they don't want to bend the knee. And no, they're using it against, in this war, in the Gaza war, it's crazy how they're using it against pro-Palestinians who are backing, who are supporting ordinary people, innocent people, civilians. They're supporting civilian Semite people. That's my point. Like, how many times people need to remind them, oh, hold on a second, the Arabs are Semite. People are supporting Semite groups. What the world did not do in the Nazi Germany time. Exact thing, even worse than Germany did. Germany, I've read a lot of history. Well, we cannot talk in the YouTube, but we always can like have a controversial talk on what's happened. But what we saw in the movies, written and made by these people, well, I can't address, like the Pianist, the Shepherd List, all those great movies that had a big influence on us for having sympathy with Jews. We never seen Germany comes and bombs a hospital or brings down a church to ash or attacking its own people. Have you ever seen a Nazi Germany attacks Nazi Germany? They do it like IDF. What IDF did in October 7th, just for making lots of false flag, and like after they confessed, there is reports on Israeli journals at what crimes the IDF carried on October 7th. They bombed their own people in order to accuse and blame the Hamas for in the ground. And later on the media, on the journals, on the news and everything, they come use the same card. And now if you stand up for yourself and you say, no man, wait, hold on, I have my own mind, I'm seeing it. You're doing it wrong. You're killing people. This is not a war. A war, two people fight. But this only one-sided thing that they are bombing civilians, and they use Jewish people as human shield. They hide behind the Jewish people, and they use the name of Judaism, a distorted version of that, which is a political movement called Zionism. Is Zionism, they're killing people, and it's not even a war. And when you stand against them and you say, hey, you need to stop. You need to stop killing people. If you want to fight, go fight military people. Go fight, I don't know, Hamas. It's been how many days? How many people are dead now? Show me one single Israeli military operation that got some achievement in military sense. Show me one Hamas commanders that you killed. You're just killing people. And if you say so, they would come and say, oh, you are anti-Semite. Oh, you are because you're not Zionist? Oh man, come on, do better.
As Israel tries to defend itself against genocidal terrorists.
And see, just see how shameless.
As Israel tries to defend
As
itself.
Israel tries to defend itself against genocidal terrorists. Like, I don't know, maybe it's Hamas bombing hospitals in Tel Aviv, in Haifa. Or maybe Americans are doing it. Who are the genocidal terrorists? A genocidal terrorist, a psychopath, a criminal. If we were living in a just world, that everything was in order, these people were they should have been behind the bars. But since they controlled everything, like we understood right now, the people in the world awaken, and they realize that they think especially the media, the news, everything was ruled and controlled and run and owned by Zionists. They could make narration, they could change narrations, they could engineer minds of people to come to say the things that are actually not only they are not true, but they are literally they are opposite. Just see, this one video shows the whole history with this thing that they killed thousands of women, children, old people, young, any kind of like mass murdering you would imagine, you would see maybe in horror movies is happening. They doing it, they exercising it, they phosphoric bombs, I don't know, the chemicals, the hospitals, schools, whatever you could imagine it, they've done it. they carried on in Gaza, and we've seen the world is seeing. It's not the old time anymore. Everybody has a cell phone and everyone has a phone, has a camera, and they're showing it. The independent journalists, let alone the people themselves, they're showing the world what's happening in Gaza, and then they call the victims, the terrorist who has killed over 8,000 children, infants, toddlers. He comes and he say Israel is defend itself against genocidal terrorists. Not only they would refuse to take the responsibility or to say, oh, we did a bad thing, so we need to change, we need to stop. Not that. They would come actually make it opposite. And they would accuse you and blame you for what they are doing. So this makes people wonder. Maybe some other stuff in the history, one has right to wonder. And that's what they are, anti-Semitic themselves, and they are the one who is causing the bad thing with towards regarding what's happened in Nazi Germany are themselves with the stories that they are making up right now. I'm not saying this happens or not happens. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying what they are doing actually brings this idea that some people might think. Right now we are seeing with our own eyes, about the things happening right now, and they come and they use it opposite. They give it opposite. They describe it opposite, and they blame the victim for the crimes that they themselves have done. So they think that we are being only told in history classes. How can now I want to, for example, right now come to commemorate that point, that part of the history? How can I do that now? Like I say, hey, we human beings, after all, humans has done that, and the Europeans has done in Germany, they did like that. Which, wait a minute, they wanted to get rid of Jews in Germany, in Europe. And the Jews, they took refuge to their Muslim brothers. Some of them, they went to Iran, 80,000 Poles. Still we have Poles in Iran. They went to their Jewish Iranian community in Iran. Some of them, they went to Iraq. Some of them went to Palestine. Some of them they didn't go to some other places. Yeah, they're the mastermind behind the plan. I know it's kind of irrelevant to the point. But the Semite people, they took refuge to their closest, how you say, to the Semite people. They went to Iraq, to Syria, to Jordan, to Palestine of that time, because they would feel safe there. Yeah, in terms of people, we're not talking about the Zionists, the politicians, the officials and stuff. They went there. In the history, this happened. They didn't go, I don't know, some other places that right now they claim to be, we are fighting anti-Semitism. And right now, the Semite people, again, are being killed, are being massacred in Gaza. By who? By some superior race within the Judaism, within the Jewish race, the superior race, which they have a certain color, which is not actually the color of the, not the face color or skin color. The color in the term of appearance and what they carry on, or what belief they have. Let's not dive into it. That takes so long. But the point right now, the Semite people are being killed, and Semite people and non-Semite people as well. Everyone, Americans, Europeans, Africans, Chinese, Iranians, Arab, all of them are supporting and saying, "Oh, you need to stop the war." And then they will call us and call you, call the people, call everyone who's against the genocide. They're calling them genocidal terrorists. Well, I wanted to bring the history, to bring the example of that time, that what they did. Just right now, the same thing happened. Maybe right now is even worse. Is another level, because that time nobody would come and say, "Oh, Germany wouldn't say, Nazi Germany wouldn't say, oh, we had a Holocaust, so we need to defend ourselves and kill them like this," and done all of these craps. Wouldn't be happening that way. That would be maybe another way. Now, we already have one example in history. Like, these people had seen what Nazi Germany, the evil, whatever they had done, they're repeating it. They're repeating it. They're doing it. They're doing the same thing they've been saying, like that was bad for a long, long time. Like all the history classes, I don't know, all the movies, a lot of things is dominated by this idea that we need to condemn the Holocaust, which we do. We condemn any death of any like civilian. But right now, the same people from the same card that they use this victimhood. They use this card of victimhood to play for a long, long time. No, they are coming and doing even a harsher genocide, and they're not satisfied with that. They come also accuse the victims. That's what I don't know even how to describe. I'm saying it from different perspectives, but again, just this one sentence. As Israel tries to defend itself against genocidal terrorists, Israel needs to defend itself by bombing hospitals, killing children, over 8,000 toddlers, thousands of women, thousands of, like, bringing ash to universities, like university in the Palestine. You see what they did. They bombed universities, and they say that was Hamas. They carry genocide again. They carry genocide, and they blame the victim for being killed, and they naming it genocidal terrorists.
Genocidal terrorists. Genocidal terrorists who hide behind civilians. Yet it is Israel.
Genocidal terrorists who hide behind civilians. This video is saying everything. Is the truth from a liar's mouth, but from the opposite side, you know. You just need to take these words and talk against Israel. That's all true. Israel tries to defend itself against genocidal terrorists. Genocidal terrorists who hide behind civilians. For instance, right now, he hide behind civilians. Like he said, the Jewish faculty in universities in the States are being attacked. Jewish students in the States are being attacked. Especially the people in the US, go see if it's true or not. The Jews themselves are protesting. The main part of, or one of the very influential and that have a big voice of this demonstration, this protest, are Jewish. One of the big guys, big people, like a big protest that it's really also respectful, are our brothers and Jewish brothers and sisters. They gathered in rallies, they gathered in protests, and they had Passover, the celebration of, like, the Jews getting like freedom or fleeing from Egyptian pharaohs in the old time, in ancient history. In this ceremony, they come and they celebrated it with Muslims, with Palestinians, with non-Muslims, with Jews, with all of them, and showing it as a sign for, like, they against the Israel, the Zionists, they against the Zionists, they against the Israelis genociding people. And they were saying, oh, ceasefire now, ceasefire. And no, the psychopath says genocide or terrorists who hide behind civilians. Who is hiding behind civilians? Who is taking all the people, all the Jews from all the world, which are not from that place? They were born like from ancestors in Russia, in Poland, in, I don't know, in Germany, a lot of places in the world. They have never been, not themselves, nor their parents were living in wherever from the occupied land, from the Palestine, never. They gathered them, they came, and like with a lots of advertisement, promotion, I don't know, come here, we give you home, we give you job, we give you everything. Israel is the best place in the world. Jews can feel safe only in Israel, not outside. I'm coming to the point. They gathered people there, they hide behind them, and they say, oh, they are gonna, we need to have Iron Dome, we need to have nuclear weapons, we need to have blah blah, because they're gonna kill Jews. Who is killing who now? What we are seeing, Israelis are killing Muslims. That's a fact, that's a truth. But why is doing that? Why Israel is trying to bring chaos out of Israel, at least to showing it in the TV? At least putting a face of being victim out of Israel. Why? Because they invested. They built the land to impose this idea that Jews are safe only in Israel, not outside. So they need to show like, oh, if you go to a state, the Jewish faculty, Jewish students, and don't forget, the Israeli people within occupied land right now, they are being brainwashed. The media over there is controlled. And they're trying to brainwash them at least. Well, thanks to internet and the new generation of technologies, the social networks, many of them are awakened now, are woke up, are awakened. But that's the idea behind of this thing. They want to, actually they might also carry some, they will also do some false flag kind of operations right now. Israel would do, but are we talking geopolitical talks about the strategies of Israel? I would talk on that time. Right now I wouldn't, I'm not going to dive into it, but they want to show the Jewish people out of Israel, in other Jewish people in the world. They want to say that, don't forget, lots of Jewish people are Zionists. We have a lots of free and great Jewish people, but lots of them also are Zionists. They've been brainwashed since the childhood. They would believe any crap these people say. So they would say, oh my God, nowhere is safe for us. We only need to stay in Israel. We need to go to Israel. We need to stay in Israel. Otherwise, people in the world, they would harm us. That's the idea behind of it. Especially right now, if there is a reverse immigration from Israel, if things get even tension rises more, they would leave the country because it's not their country. They don't have anything to bound them there. They will leave the country, and the idea of bringing all the Jews in the Holy Land will go away. And Israel will be, the Israeli regime will be wiped out. Simple. When people are calling death to Israel, death to in anywhere in the world, they say that literal means that Israel is going by itself. It's not going to be a massacre. It's not going to be killing Jews. No. The regime, Israeli apartheid regime, will be gone, as the South African regime is gone now. The South African apartheid regime is gone, and right now they have a normal regime, and nobody is against them, and it is normal. Like the apartheid regime of Nazi Germany is gone. And this one, but is more interesting, that it's going without even somebody from outside trying. They themselves are killing it.
Billions. Yet it is Israel that is falsely accused of genocide.
Falsely accused of genocide.
Falsely accused of starvation and all sundry war crimes. It's all one big libel. But that's not new. We've seen in history that anti-Semitic attacks were always preceded by vilification and slander. Lies that were cast against the Jewish people that are unbelievable, yet people believed them. And what is important...
Like the lies that is being told about the freedom fighters. that they are fighting for the freedom of their own land. What they say we're human beings. We have right to exist. The largest open air free prison, the largest open air prison, the most densely populated place, being under attack by much amount of bombs, as much as 6 nuclear atomic bombs has been right now dropped in Gaza. People don't have anything to eat, anything to drink. They don't have the basic of anything. And they come and they say big lies to their own. They don't care about other people, I'll tell you. And they don't care about what we think, what the world thinks. No, they only care about the Zionist people who are actually already brainwashed, to stay being brainwashed so they can keep on, because they have everything. They have news. You see, he's talking like to his employees, to US. And after this speech, you see the arrest in university. You see the special forces in Colombia. You see the special forces in US universities with special forces, not only police, not only like securities or police, special forces coming to take down the protest. Why? Because they would maybe affect the minds of some of those brainwashed Zionists. That's what they fear for. You see, his body language is someone is scared, but in the meanwhile, he's talking to as if he's talking to his employees.
Now is for all of us who are interested and cherish our values and our civilization, to stand up together.
All of us who's interested in our cherishing what civilizations, our values and our civilizations.
Cherish our values and our civilization, to stand up together and to say enough is enough. We have to stop
Are you following? You take these words, word by word, letter by letter, is against the Zionism. We need to stand together and say, for our values, for the humanity, for our civilization, we need to stay strong, firm together and say enough is enough. We need to protest against the Israelis. He's saying what? Just I can't digest. I can't digest that.
Anti-Semitism, because anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine. It always,
because the anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine. Like if the gas leaks, the canary dies first. Canary is anti-Semitism, and it's true. If you see anti-Semitism and genocide that is happening in Gaza right now, and we don't do anything, this is like that canary that is dying because of the leak of gas in the coal mine. And we need to do something. We need to protest. We need to demonstrate at least what we can, whatever we have, with the words, with the walks, with whatever we have in our power. We need to do something against the Zionists, because it's devil more dangerous than ever. It's devil more dangerous than Nazi Germany. This antichrist apartheid ideology, and the state, which is not only ideology, is a state which is actually based on more secularism than Judaism, because the real Judaism and most Jewish people are against that. They just don't let people to hear the different perspectives from real Jews. They don't let it, because the media is controlled and everything is controlled by. I can imagine what would a person born and raised in Israel would think. I assume they wouldn't have their own mind at all. That's very dangerous for the people. There are people too, you know. Nobody would like to be devil. They wouldn't know. They're brainwashed. A part of the cruelty and crimes is happening to them as well. They turned human being to antichrist, psychopaths, criminal, killers. This is a crime itself. And it's sad.
See larger conflagrations that engulf the entire world. So I ask all of you, Jews and non-Jews alike, who are concerned with our common future and our common values, to do one thing. Stand up, speak up, be counted. Stop anti-Semitism.
I tell the same. Jews and non-Jews, Muslim and non-Muslims, Arabs or non-Arabs, Semite or non-Semite, Persians or non-Persians, Americans or non-Americans, African or non-Africans, Chinese or non-Chinese. All the people in the world, you need to stand up and be counted and speak up and say stop the war, stop the genocide.
Now.
Stop killing Semite Arabs in Palestine. The second, but this is one of the biggest points I wanted to make clear, that Prime Minister of United States of Israel has a speech. The second after, American students are being arrested in American universities and they've been expelled. They've been expelled from universities. And a few days ago, I forgot what was her name, one of the Israeli officials, she comes and she had a tweet. She tweeted that, I guess it was a tweet or she had, or it was a talk. I can't recall it right now. But she said, you go to university, you work hard, you get your degree, but your degree is useless because we have the cameras and the AI that would recognize you being participated in pro-Palestinian demonstrations. Then you would never be hired by any company. And you know that the big companies all over the world is run and controlled by Zionists. He actually said so. Now many people talk about that and says, but this woman was Israeli official. I think it was what was her name? It was it has I can't recall. It was IDF related person in the I think Parliament or somewhere. And our civilizations, like my civilization of God, science, morality, soul, and understanding and wisdom, and Western civilization of freedom of speech, technology. What's happened to all of them? 75 years of democracy, freedom of speech, arresting students in University of America, in USA, in United States of America, by the command of Prime Minister of United States of Israel, which is the actual president of USA, the one who actually makes decision for USA. We have seen his speech. The one who took USA into wars for over 40 years in West Asia. All wars, Iraq wars, Afghanistan wars, ISIS, all of them was for Israel. He commanded and ordered to arrest the students in universities in another country 1,000 kilometers away from himself. So now you see Israel it was supposed to be a safe place for some politicians, a safe house, so they sit there and they do from there every shit they want to do. Simple. Well, I can show this video on the but just a general look, because I'm afraid the YouTube takes down the video again and the channel again. So I can show the moment they are arresting people. But one thing very important, interesting, is that since they were arresting students in schools, and I was talking to some of my mates, some of my friends in USA, and they were how they were describing the thing to me. It was like they were arresting students, and then teachers come to show their support for the students, and they started to arrest teachers as well, the professors as well. And you are seeing it in the Twitter everywhere else. It's horrible. It's awful. I mean, I can imagine if this was happening in Iran. I can't imagine that. Like during the woman life freedom, like engineered protestations, which was all based on propaganda and false news, the fake story of beating a woman to death by police, that was fake, all fake. I had a video on. However, my channel, the other channel, is down now, but it was all fake. But they were looking for a police car like 100 meters away from a university. It would go viral. Oh, Iranian forces are coming to arrest students and blah blah, and all of those craps that you heard in the mass propaganda that was running last year, 2 years ago. And I can't imagine what would happen. Just think about it. If one officer arrested one Iranian, a student in Iranian university, right now, the whole world, all top news, all the hashtags, all trending hashtags, all everywhere they were talking, oh my God, what happened to democracy? What's happened to freedom of speech? What happened to freedom of expression? Look.
I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do for you right now?
Can you call them? You're allowed to be the department office and tell them I've been requested.
But another thing before diving into another topic is Netanyahu, the pig, said Jewish people are under attack, and that was true. Unless with one difference. Let me show you. Let me show you at least one Jew being attacked or at least harassed. Just have a look.
You are a traitor. אתה בוגד. תראו, זה הבוגד. Look at, תסתכלו על הבוגד הזה. תראה את הבוגד הזה. Look at this traitor. בוגד.
You see? Jews are under attack, but by Zionists. Zionists are the one who attacking Jews. But this is not my point. My main point is just imagine, think about it. Let's assume this Zionist guy is attacking the Jews for backing up Palestine, for Palestinian protests, participating in a pro-Palestinian protest. Yeah. So we can say, oh my God, this is clear. This is obvious. We can see a Zionist guy is calling a Jewish guy a traitor. You are a traitor because you don't support genocide. Yeah? It's simple, yeah? Clear. But what if Israelis, they send some people to pretend I got this thing. What if Israeli IDF, the Israelis themselves, they send some commanders, some officers, some fake Arab people to pretend being a Muslim or being Arab or being, I don't know, friends, being another person, but not showing that they are Zionists, and attacking Jewish people? What would happen? That's what they gonna do. So be careful and be ready for that, because I can see that they gonna start doing a lot of this kind of this to bring a lot of these scenes, to play a lot kind, like anywhere you see you would see some people come and attack a Jewish guy and say like, death to Israel, I am Arab, like free Palestine, and like that, and they would attack a Jewish ordinary person. They would do it. So simple, yeah, so clear, this is so simple, and that would be a ace for them. That would be an ace. So Israel would come and say, you see, the Jews are being attacked in America, in a state, so we were right, because they were not right so far. What they would do, they've always done so, always it's like that. 9/11, what have you, that's military, but in sociality, like in social, there's no difference, makes no difference. They can do. But so far, what we have seen so many Jews.
Traitor! Don't go, traitor! Don't go!
We have seen many Jews being attacked by Zionists. Like Israeli guys would go, like people, like pro-Israelis, pro-Zionists would attack like Jewish people. That's the only thing we've witnessed so far. But my point is, they have been controlling and ruling over the world by deceiving people, by doing false flag operations, by doing false, like making scenes, like during the Women Life and Freedom demonstrations and the chaos which was engineered. We would see one woman comes with hijab, starts like attacking a woman without hijab in one video, and in the next video you would see the same woman this time comes without hijab, and the other one is like attacking the other one with hijab. They're doing like, you know, how you say, there is a word for it, the social engineering, I don't know what was the word, like how they usually do, like the color revolution in Ukraine, and we see the result now. A long time, which the United States, you know, like what they usually do, you know better. But the fact that right now Israel is losing every and each battle in every and each field, military, media, streets, universities, they're losing. But before making that movement, before making that scenes, they come on the TV and they say the Jews being under attack, the Jewish faculties are under attack. This is another level of, like, I can't find a word for it. So I'm gonna ask my Muslim to Muslim, my Muslim brothers in the States and in other places, other countries, be very careful, and you need to protect Jewish people, because the Israelis would do such a thing. They would go and hurt and harm Jewish people to blame us for that. You see, they kill you and they would blame you for being killed. So now they're gonna attack Jewish people and blame us for that. So we need to be careful and take a very good care of our Jewish friends. This is one thing I wanna. I think it's important that especially Muslims, need to protect Jewish people around the world. I'm not talking about Zionists. I'm talking about Jewish. Especially Muslims need to take care of Jews, to protect them, because it's so simple that Israeli IDF would change the clothes, change their uniforms into a suit, or change to I don't know, some another clothes, and come to a street and attack a Jewish guy and says, I'm pro-Palestinian. They can do this so easily. They can do, and they can change the They can deceive the world. So we need to be careful about that. And that's why I say, for example, for terms also, we need to be smart. We need, because English is different with our language. In our language, it has a meaning in itself. It literally means that we are saying like death to the regime. But in English, maybe we need to be a little bit smarter for that. We shouldn't give the card for them to play it. We shouldn't give the card to the Zionists to play. And also, for example, they're gonna ban and boycott pro-Palestinians from the works, from the job or something. I think is a time that we also take care of ourselves. For example, if a person is fired, is expelled, is from his job because of showing support for Palestine, needs to be taken care of. They need to be like hired in a company owned by someone with the truth. I think we can at least do that. And especially right now, like you see, they literally, like some students in the States, I think it's our time. We need to show them the support, and we need to be their voice. They're losing their degree or their future or something like that, but they are sacrificing their future for the humanity, and they're really, I think they're real life heroes, and we need to support them. This is another thing. And not the Jews themselves, the real Jews in the pro-Palestinian protesters. Let's see what they have to say.
Love, nothing but welcome from everyone I've spoken to. The idea that London is a no-go zone for Jews is just for the birds. It's rubbish.
These Jews have come out specially. There were 500 of us meeting outside Belgrave Square. We've all come here on purpose to show that that's rubbish.
Politicians are pushing it as just basically propaganda and to push their own narrative, to pretend that there isn't another voice that opposes the genocide going on in Gaza, to try and weaponize anti-Semitism to a degree.
We've been sold a false narrative, and I think it's really important for Jews everywhere to stand up and say, I'm not okay with this, and this is not being done for me.
Jewish people are not a monolith that all think the same. There's thousands of Jewish people who feel very comfortable in London and oppose the events in Gaza right now.
I've got a poster showing that I'm Jewish, that I'm supporting peace with Palestine, and I feel so welcome. People are really grateful that me and the rest of the Jewish bloc are out today. I've not experienced any anti-Semitism or anything that's made me feel uncomfortable.
There's always this talk about people feeling uncomfortable when people draw attention to what's happening in Gaza, but we're feeling uncomfortable about what's happening in Gaza.
There's genocide in Gaza.
Indiscriminate killing of men, women, children in Gaza.
As a Jewish person, as a human being, I know that using starvation as a weapon of war is immoral, it's illegal.
Having gone through what we've gone through as Jews in history, we should understand what it's like to be persecuted.
We come from a people who have been targeted and persecuted and genocided in the past, and it's quite painful, I think, to feel like this is being undertaken in my name. Judaism and
also,
Zionism.
I told you in the beginning of this video, at the earliest stages, I said what the Zionists are doing are actually questioning the pains that the people have carried on by themselves on the time with like Nazi Germany time, like those stuff. And right now also the Zionists are trying not only to using Jewish people as a shield in military term and in political term, on this in other terms, like they say, oh, Jews are being under attack, so Israel needs to kill people, to carry genocide in Gaza. They're doing like that, right? And also to bring the danger to Jewish people as well. That's what they will do too. Not only questioning the pains they had witnessed, they had to face in history, but the pains of today, genocide in Gaza, think about it. Everything is happening, all inhuman, like the evil stuff is happening in Gaza. Like, literally, I think it's enough word. Children being killed in a school, in hospital. And you be blamed for. And they say, like, if you were a Jewish. That's a huge pain itself. So that's a cruelty as well. And also, well, I said that's what the... Never mind. Can't talk it here.
The same thing.
Ethnic cleansing is fundamental to the Zionist project.
It certainly does not reflect my Jewish values, which are life for all people.
Even our own foreign secretary is talking about how frustrated he is with the Israeli government starving the Palestinian population. It has to end now.
Stop the genocide!
Yeah. Let me show another example where Jewish people are being attacked. Have a look. Yeah, Jewish people are under attack, but by Zionists. Even in Jerusalem, even in Holy Land, inside and outside, the Jewish people, real Jewish people, only Jewish, not Jewish Zionists, only Jewish people. Jewish people are under attack by Zionists. Another example, Jewish people are under attack. It's true. But who is doing it? Zionists. And who is blaming us for that? Zionists. Crazy, huh? But another thing. I showed you examples, instances that Jewish people and Jewish faculty, a Jewish professor, a teacher, he's been arrested or attacked, or Jewish scholar being attacked by Zionists. No. Let's listen a little bit of this video again, and I want to bring another thing, talk about another thing as well, but just it's like as if, but that's aside. That's aside. Like who is victim, who is not. I don't want to think about that right now. My point is, I want to clarify one thing. It's like Biden is talking. He's like president of USA is talking. Listen.
What's happening on America's college campuses is horrific. Anti-Semitic mobs have taken over leading universities. They call for the annihilation of Israel. They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty. This is reminiscent of
not
what happened.
only the way that he speaks, his language, not only his language, his tone, and the way he's addressing American officials. He's like a boss is talking to his employees, or a master is talking to his servants. Just imagine US president face on this body and let it talk. But also accusing Americans. I mean, this is another for being Nazi, for being genocidal. He's literally coming in front of camera and saying, you American students in American universities, you are genocidal terrorists. You are anti-Semite. You are killers. You are the ones who want to annihilate Israel. You are the one who want to kill the Jews. Wow. Isn't that swearing? How can I say this as a non-American, just as a faculty of university in another country, I get offended. This is huge.
In German universities in the 1930s.
He's not talking about Hamas now. He is not talking, he's not addressing Hamas, he's not addressing Hezbollah, he's not addressing IRGC, he's not addressing Iranians, he's not addressing Muslims, he's not addressing German. He's addressing American students in American universities and calling them genocidal terrorists, the killers, the anti-Semitics, the ones who want to attack Jews. How can you take that? I mean, the US officials even, there should be a time, I mean, they would tell themselves like, come on, Israel was supposed to be our military base in Middle East so that we could like mess up with all the Western West Asia's country. We could kill a lot of and steal their oil and all of those scraps. That was the beginning, like when the Britain started to like colonize and sell the lands to the Zionists and all of those stuff. It was supposed to be like that, yeah. But right now it's opposite. Right now, as if USA is, well, we know is colonized by Israel, by Zionists. US, what is US? US is Israeli lobbyists, is Israeli Hollywood, Zionist Hollywood, is Zionist media, is Zionist journalism, is Zionist bank, is Zionist economy, Zionist porn industry, Zionist fashion industry, Zionist, everything is controlled by that. It's like but anyway, you get my point. It's like you've seen it. Is the boss coming, ordering his employees, isn't that? And another thing, which the video took so long, I don't. We shall talk about it another video specifically, but let's just point it out. The fact that Israelis are looking down, the Israeli officials are actually looking down at the Americans and Europeans as well. That's why it's a canary in the coal mine. It was right, but he was saying about a different person. But it's right. If you think there are people in US as well that they are not agreed with the Zionists and they want to get freedom. They want to be independent. In US officials that have seen that they are not independent. They don't have independence. Their country, their office is colonized. Like Biden is their guy, Trump is, I don't know, a lot of senators, a lot of people are being are Israeli agents. So simple as that. But some of them are trying to fight that. Like they have to bring something in the Senate, in the parliament to decide for that. And let me not explain, but they showing some, in terms of just politics, they're showing some signs of Israelis being angry at Americans, showing some, maybe it's time, we talk it in another video, but just something, just let me say the Israeli cat is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Israel. It says the Iranian missile project endangers the world. I call on the EU foreign ministers. I call on the EU foreign ministers to impose sanctions on the Iranian missile project. We must stop Iran now before it's too late. This is another thing we want to talk about. Just the language. Just take a look at the language. As if a boss is talking to employees. The project of Israel, the Zionism, the project of Zionist Israel was and is to control all over the world, to bring the world to the Pax Judaica. Let's talk about it in another video. It takes too long. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe and drop me some comments and hit the like button. That would help me to grow the channel again. And thank you everyone. See you later.